I believe we all really want there to be a star that we could follow, a star that could lead us to something beyond just good, a star that could lead us to something that would capture our trust, command our highest praise, something to which we could bring all our treasure. Some of us look to the arts, some to science. They both offer at times startling truths that resemble the words of the prophets of old. We find comfort and assurance, and occasionally we are met by a consummate challenge through the artist and the scientist. In the sphere of human power and influence, we still need prophets to call our attention to those matters that threaten our well-being. Often we cannot hear their voices. Often we are distracted. Often we simply just do not want to hear. We think, what can I do? The evil, the destruction, the malicious intent is too pervasive, too big. The problem with this perspective is that tallied up, it falls in the same column with indifference. It is difficult sometimes, but we must remember God is with us. This is not just a strange and wondrous story that we remember during a brief season every year. This is a dangerous story, a story of betrayal and cunning, a story of covetous and murderous intent. For us, not just a story, but the revelation of a complete shift in the order of the known world. The economic, political, social, religious renderings of the world seen and unseen, all about to be changed by the incarnation of God in the Christ child. God now with us in flesh. And by extension, in the entire creation, redeeming every single atom. Onto the world a great light is come, but not everyone has seen it. Those having great freedom, influence, power, and knowledge, those who one would hope would know what to do with all their benefits and advantage, do not seem to have noticed. Instead, they have mistaken their wealth and status for their actual treasure. As a result of this error, they assume a protective stance, hiding their fear behind their power, unable to accept the simple promise of salvation, the simple promise of God's love. While at the other end of the human spectrum, where want and ignorance reign, there is no limit to the disorder, violence, and pain that fear can sow. Jesus' life as an infant is threatened by violence. His family's life is threatened. Eventually, his disciples will be threatened, as is he, throughout his ministry. This is a dangerous story about great risks that require even greater faith. Our gospel lesson tells of a fear-driven leader at the head of a fearful community. His advisors confirm his fears, explaining that he is essentially in the path of an unfolding prophecy that will exceed the power of his reign. He is primarily afraid because he knows that he is only a puppet of a much larger power. the Roman Empire. So now he is caught between two greater powers, one of which is greater than any power yet known to humankind. An infant king of kings. By necessity, he seeks in an underhanded way to find the newborn king that threatens his reign. He exploits the good intentions, the honor of those seeking to pay homage to that king, those who will follow a star and bring treasures. Each of us have treasures, and they are unique to us, and therefore they are of incomparable value, because only we can bring those treasures. Only we can see the opportunity where those treasures could present. Only our prayers will connect us to God's holy will and show us the where and when that will draw on the deposits of grace hidden within us. What also seems to be important is the non-cooperation of those who followed the star and found the newborn king. They receive a warning in a dream, and they do not return to the fearful leader who had enlisted them. The news of the newborn king will not serve the fearful, but it offers the adoring heart a choice. There will always be movement in that choice. And so, let every heart prepare him room. Amen.